So this is the video following up from the first lesson that we went through in DD 2452. This is the introduction to the TV bot character that we're going to model for the first 3 weeks. This is the first section where we're just going to be modeling the head, making the actual project file and introducing the image planes to the scene. So first things first, what we want to do is obviously create our project folder so that we can save all our textures and all our image planes and our scene files into that, and we can keep it safe. So if you go to File, Project window, we'll get this. Mine's still set up for the last time I did this, but I'll go through it again. So this top current project, this is what we're going to name our project as. So if you click this new button to the side, we can now name our project, and we're going to call it TVBOY. And I'm going to prefix mine with 2, just because there is another TVBOY file on my system. Location, that's where we're actually going to place our folder. So again, mine's in the right place. It's on my D drive in the work folder in my Maya specific folder, but I'll just show you how to do that again. So you click the little file folder, and then you navigate yourself to where you want to go. So I know I want to put it in my Maya folder, and then there we go. These are all the folders that will be created. I wouldn't change it. In fact, I'd say don't change any of the names of these. You need to keep these the same names, just to be clear about where you're saving stuff. And you can forget about these things underneath. So after that, just click accept. Now, one thing I always do, just to be on the safe side every time I start any project, is we've just created that new project, but sometimes Maya doesn't create a save directory straight away. So what we have to do is go to File again, down to Set Project, and then we have to navigate back to our folder where we first made the folder, and there we go. It's in Maya, and we can see there's TVBOY2 down here. If we just click that, we don't have to click into it. Just click it, highlight it, click Set. So then when we go to save something now, it's going to take us to the scene folder inside the TVBOY folder, project folder, inside where we saved it. And that's very important to do, because if you were just working off the desktop, let's say, and you've got all your textures and your shaders on the desktop as well, if you decide to clean up and put all that sort of stuff in a folder, Maya will lose its connections, and then you're going to have to reapply everything, and it can be a real pain to do all that again, especially if you're working on a big scene. You have to, with some shaders, you have to reset the entire shader to reapply it again. It's not a good time. So we've got the project folder set up. Now what we need to do is we need to go and add the images to that project folder. So hopefully in class you've already downloaded the TVBOY image pack from VLE. So I've got my TVBOY's image pack here, which is me with my images. All I'm going to do is select those images, Control C for copying them. Then I'm going to navigate to my TVBOY folder, and then I'm going to go to source images here at the bottom. If I go in there, I'm just going to paste those in. So remember, we're not putting them in images or anything else, we're putting them in source images at the bottom. So this is where we're going to put all our reference material. So with that made, we now know that our images we want are inside our folder, our project is set up, and when we first open Maya, obviously this is the screen we're greeted with. Ignore these 2 blocks of text on my side of the screen. This is just an outline of the vertex and points and faces in the scene, so I can keep a clear idea about how many points how much information is in my scene. And this is all for rendering and animation and VFX and camera positioning stuff, so don't worry about any of this. It's not important. So we want to change our viewpoint. So if we hover over our viewport, hit space, we're going to get given this. This is our 4 view. So we've got perspective in the top right, top view in the top left, bottom left is front view, and bottom right is side view. So these are the bottom two views of what we're going to use. What we want to do is we're going to place image planes in here, and if anyone doesn't know what an image plane is, it's basically something that we can work off as a schematic or like a tracing, that we can actually trace we can use that to build on top of, to make sure that we're following the right dimensions for our character. Okay. So I know I want to put the front view in this view, and I want to put the side view in this view. The side view is going to be looking down this direction. Okay. So I'm going to go to View, Image Plane, Import Image, and it's going to take us to our source folder. And this is why we put the images into the source folder. So I know that I'm going to put it into the front view. So I'm going to double click TVBOY front, and then that'll drop our image there. You can see that in perspective that we've got this image here. Don't touch that just yet. So go to the side view, which is the bottom right. Same thing. View, image plane, import image, and then we're going to go for TVBOY side. Click that, and you can see here that we've had an image plane dropped in. So we're almost ready to work. One thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to move these, and we're going to need to scale them up. Because even though we can absolutely start modeling off of these, the position's going to get in the way, because obviously they've kind of like crossed each other, and as we're panning around, we're going to be like, these are going to be the way of our geometry, and they're also, for me, they're a little bit too small. I like working on a big grid. So what I'm going to do is, let's go back to perspective view to make it easy to see. I'm going to click near the edges of the image plane. If you click in the center, you can't really grab them. They are set up to do that, so that when you are modeling, you're not accidentally clicking them all the time. So if you click near the edges and then shift click the other one, we select both of them, and then I'm going to scale them up. So if I hit R for my scale tool, I want to scale them so that they come up to the edges of the grid, as you can see there. And then what I want to do, because this is a real kind of a I see a lot of people modeling to an image plane, but they're modeling where the center of the world, this black line going across, is literally in the middle of the model. And I don't understand why people are doing that. The best way to go about stuff, and it makes a lot of sense, is to move. So again, just go back to perspective to make it a lot easier to understand. Is to, for W for our translate move tool, is to actually move these image planes up so that we're actually stood on top of the world. So if we treat this grid like a ground, TVBOY is now stood on the ground. So I've got one more thing to do first before we start modeling, is these are in a cross pattern. So if we were modeling the head from this side and then we moved over here, we'd then be blocking whatever's over here, which sometimes, especially if you're working on asymmetrical characters, can be a real showstopper. It can just get in the way, and it can annoy a lot of you. It can just annoy you. So what I do first is I just click one of the image planes. So I've clicked the front image plane here, and I'm going to move that backwards, just about there. And then I'm going to do the same for the side view. Click near the side, and I'm going to move it sideways. You don't want to kind of have a closed box like this, because again, while we're working on stuff, if we need to get to the back, you know, we're going to be, as soon as we try to move to the back to work on the cable or the radiator at the back, we're going to stop ourselves from seeing anything, because the image planes are a two-sided shape. So we're going to move that one back, and we're going to move that one to the side. So if we do get here and we need to look to the back, it's just a lot easier. We still might clip all the way through, but it's just a lot easier. We don't necessarily want to move it all the way over there and all the way over there, because if we're looking in perspective and we want to reference what's on the character sheet to what's in perspective, obviously if it's all the way over here, you're not going to see it. So you just want it a nice ways away. Move that back. Okay, cool.